Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of the show that's just about to send out its invites for its own black tie affair, the black and white ball that we're planning. That's right, folks. Another episode here of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Derek. Welcome. And you know what? There is going to be a lot to like about the black tie affair, especially the hors d'oeuvres. But speaking of like, what should you like? You should like the show. That's what you should like. Go ahead and look right down there. You'll see a little thumbs up. Click that. Doesn't take you much time at all. But the extra credit is going to be if you go to subscribe just on the right there. We'd love to have you. Won't you join us for this journey that we're on? Having said that, why don't we introduce our regular cast of characters? We'll start off with the man who is just about to be this tall to ride the ride. He's almost there. The one and only Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hi, Derrico. How are you? Really? Yeah, take a sip.
Now that the Coke Zero is being consumed, I'm doing just fine.
Now, this is the question. We're talking about black tie. Cummerbund or no cummerbund with the tux?
I don't know, Josh. You make your choice there.
I say a vest, no cummerbund.
Okay. Do you need gloves too?
No, not gloves. That's for Bobby.
Well,
Bobby seems like somebody who would wear gloves to a black tie event.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby's like, what's a black tie event?
Well, I was just about to say.
I know what a black tie event is, but you see, I'm not going to go to a black tie event.
Not even for Dad's Turn to Talk?
Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Well, then no.
Good. We don't need you there. We don't need you there.
And speaking of our other host, he's been talking. He actually has a personal tux collection, and from everywhere, ranging from white to all the colored assortment. The one and only Bob. Bob, welcome to the program.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How about yourself, sir?
How are you doing?
Doing good. My son, he had a cap and gown event tonight for in preparation for his graduation, where they were going over all the awards that everybody was receiving. And good God, the thing lasted like 2 hours long, and it still wasn't even done when I dipped out because I needed to get over here to get ready for this. So,
hey, congratulations to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here.
Here indeed. But the idea of Bob, like,
I
need to get out of here. I need to get back home for this podcast now. Is very
He's like, enough. I gotta go.
Well, no, it's just they just kept going, and what they were doing was they were taking too long between each person, and it just kept going. Like one person would have like 10 different awards, and then they'd wait for that person to take the picture and get partially off stage before they would say the next person. I'm like, keep it going. Even actual graduations aren't this long.
Wait a minute, we just had rehearsal and you got out of there.
Oh, we had an award ceremony, but now they give you awards for every little thing that you do. Like a lot of the stuff that we did, they gave us pats on the back. Now they give you awards for almost everything that you do. And then even if you don't do anything, you still get to walk up and they say that so-and-so is being acknowledged for the completion of high school for the state of Texas. I'm like, didn't they used to call that a diploma?
Bob's like, I gotta go. I've got a podcast. See ya. What time?
I got to see him get all of his stuff and everything, and I just kept waiting for the thing to end. And finally, I was just like, no, I gotta go. But the cool thing is, I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I need to dip out. And he says, wow, I didn't even know you were here.
Ouch.
Well, no, because he wasn't expecting me to be there. Because to be honest, I had completely forgot that they were having the award ceremony tonight, and then my ex reminded me of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah." So he wasn't sure I was even going to be there.
Got it. What time did it start?
At 5:30. It didn't end till after 8:00.
Good Lord.
So.
Wow, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I mean, congratulations to Luke once again. But for the rest of it,
shut up.
Like.
God, I wish I had that clip.
I know. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny.
Well, but no, I was real happy for him. So, and looking forward to a fun night tonight. So,
when is graduation for him? The actual ceremony?
I already told you that, Josh.
Next week?
No, when did I tell you that it was? You were begging me to come out and see you. Why?
Oh, June 7th.
And what did I tell you why I couldn't do it?
Yeah, graduation, June 6th. Okay.
All right.
Got
Is
it.
there any more personal information you want to put out for me out there? My son's name, his graduation, anything else you want to throw out there?
They don't know the last name. You're fine.
He never knew when to quit.
Oh. It's so much better with Derek doing it. I don't know why.
Oh, don't
It's
worry.
not
I'll
going
get
to
you.
be.
I'll get you to hate me soon enough, Josh. Don't you worry. All right.
With
With that, why don't we move on to the topics for the evening, gents? What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
let's get to number one. Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to be talking all things dinosaurs. Where's my youngest when you need him? Jurassic World Rebirth. If he were old enough, believe me, he'd probably be one of the first in the front row to see it. But let's go ahead and get ready to watch this trailer. Let's see what we think of it. Bob, will you be running the trailer?
Yeah,
for
let
us?
me go ahead and get this pulled up here real quick.
Sure, go for it.
And let me just share my screen here. Let me know when you see it.
Good to go.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Please open the door for me.
On the island we're headed to, 24 species have survived there alone.
The theme park owners did experimental work, leaving only the worst ones here.
Don't see that every day. Or ever.
Let's go.
If we get this DNA, millions of lives are saved.
Maybe we should make this quick, huh? Time to move.
We put ourselves in a place where we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
That's kind of our specialty.
She's scared. She's scared of.
Come on, run!
We're not gonna let you get hurt, okay?
Then was a source. We found it?
No, it found us.
Dang. That
Wow.
was something. All right. Let's get to the reactions. Josh, kick us off. What do you think?
I thought this was a much better trailer than the last one. I really, really enjoyed it. It looks interesting to me. Yeah, that scene at the beginning with the T-Rex and following them in the water. I mean, come on. Nothing is scarier than that, in my opinion. And even like little attention to detail. This is very minimal, but like the yellow raft, like it's that color from the original Jurassic Park. And I believe the whole premise of this is that the remaining dinosaurs that are left on that island are the baddies. Right?
Yeah, but this isn't the same island that Jurassic Park was on.
Okay. It's not.
Or that Jurassic World, because remember in the storyline, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World were built on the same island. This is supposed to be one of the research islands.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it looks like where all the circus freaks were experimented on.
I liked Scarlett Johansson in this trailer a little bit better than the other one. I'm curious, what she does in this one. And no, I just think the premise looks cool. And that new dinosaur looks insane at the beginning there. Good Lord. What are they calling it? Anyone know?
I don't know. Yeah.
I forgot. I thought Trey had told me the name. I can't remember right now, but
Project X. I have no idea if that was it or not.
That would have been funny. But anyway, I thought it was a great trailer, Derek. I think they did a great job. And is it going to make $1 billion? I don't think so. Not even I don't think so. But it looks good.
Well, let's do the guesstimates for dollars after we get our initial reviews out here. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Bobby, you, sir.
Well, I liked what I saw in the trailer. Yeah, this was a better trailer than the last one. The biggest issue that I've got is that it looks like these are all the circus freaks of the dinosaurs. These are like the ones that they were trying to man make, or that there was issues with the genes or something like that. And, this is the freak show here. But I think that this could work because it looks like they're going to lean into the horror aspect of Jurassic Park a little bit more with this one than just having normal dinosaurs being chased after by the T-Rex. It looks like you're going to have some surprises with this. As far as the plot, I don't think this is going to be anything, fantastical or anything like that. This isn't going to, this isn't going to break the mold. This isn't going to be anything new. But these movies do make a lot of money. And to answer your or what you said, Josh, about whether it'll make $1 billion, I mean, we'll give our estimates in a moment, but is it possible? I mean, yeah, sure, it's possible because these movies tend to do real well overseas. So, I mean, we'll see. But overall, I did like this trailer a little bit better than the last one. Mahershala Ali, I'm curious to see him in this. He looks like he's going to be cool. Again, Scarlett Johansson, she's great in a lot of what she's in. So, yeah, I'm going to check this out. I think it could be fun.
I'll take it. As for myself, you know what I liked about this trailer a lot was it had, because of that intro with the machine doors closing and that guy being trapped, it took kind of an Alien trailer feel at first. Yeah, there was a lot more like suspense and tension and grit.
Yes, that's true.
And that was something that I was very pleased to see, because I think in the first one it didn't have any of that. It just didn't have any oomph. Right. So to be fair, this looks like summer blockbuster stuff. This looks like you want to go to the theater in order to see a movie like this. And it comes out July 2nd. So it's going to be out July 4th weekend, which is something it also has going for.
True.
So there's a lot of advantage with that. And again, to Bob's point, people will want to go see this just because of the suspense it's going to bring. Because visually, it looks pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Based off the action in the trailer there. So I'm excited for this one. I always get a pretty good kick out of these movies. And I like what they did with this latest go around. It feels like there's going to be much more like intense suspense with this one than, the last couple of go rounds. I like those movies too with Chris Pratt. I'm not saying they're bad at all, but this feels like meaner, like more raw. And I like the idea of that very much.
Just to talk about the previous three. So Jurassic World made $1.6 billion.
Wow.
Fallen Kingdom, the sequel to that, made $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
And then Dominion made just over $1 billion well, just barely over $1 billion. But they do real well internationally. And so that's what I'm curious to see what type of international gross this will have. Just like just an example, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it made $417 million domestically, but $890 million internationally.
Now that's interesting.
Wow, that just changed my whole estimate.
Yeah.
I just used it 3 times.
And then Jurassic World Dominion did 376 million domestically, but 625 million internationally. So the international tends to do really well. So we'll see. I mean, this is a possibility just because these do have legs internationally.
The only thing that would make me worry about that is what comes out the week after, and if that hurts its chances at making the B.
That is true. Superman. Yeah.
That would be the only. I mean, honestly, I thought that this had a chance to make the B. I truly did, other than Superman, right? I mean, we were all kind of on board with that. We're also thinking Avatar is probably going to make it too, but I thought that this honestly might have a shot if done right. And it looks like, based off that trailer, there's a very good chance it could be a lot of fun and people will go to the theaters to see it. But Bob brought up the good point. I had no idea internationally these did that well.
Yeah. It just changed my whole thing. I wish Bob had waited, because now my numbers have completely changed 3 times.
So
They
you
did.
changed 3 times?
Well, I didn't think that it would be good. Well, whenever you're ready, we'll go over it. I'll give you my number. I'll just say originally I thought in the 6s worldwide, like total, it'd be like 6 something. And then I started thinking, when you guys said, oh, other ones have gone into the billion, I said maybe 780. But now probably maybe $1 billion or a little under.
Okay.
Is all what I'll say. 985.
985. Okay.
That's what I'll say.
Now, okay, so Josh says 985. Bob, I forgot to ask, when did all those movies come out, just in terms of the dates? Because I'm trying to figure out what pre versus post.
Okay, let me get you that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I want to say the first one came out in like 2015, right?
That sounds right.
Okay, so Jurassic World was 2015.
Yeah.
Fallen Kingdom was 2018, and Dominion was 2022. But I think Dominion was probably supposed to come out earlier, I'm wanting to say.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
But it's still,
of course, the original came out in 93, the second one in 97, and then Jurassic Park 3, which was a flop, came out in 2001.
Yeah. But
I think that one was a flop.
Yeah.
Bob, when did the original Jurassic Park in 93 come out? What month?
July.
Here it says release date was June.
Okay.
Oh, was it June?
June 11th, 1993.
Have any of the others come out July 4th weekend?
Well, let me see. Of the previous 3, no, they all came out in June.
Okay. I don't know. I think Superman could have could stop the billion mark. What do you think, Derico?
Bob, what do you got at this?
I'm going to say 890 million. I think it's going to come in under.
Yeah,
And I think it's because Superman is going to play into that. And then you got Fantastic Four a couple weeks after that. And I don't think
good joke, Bob.
No, I don't think that's necessarily going to be like a huge hit, but I think that's going to carry enough to where what I'm looking at is Jurassic World is not going to be able to dominate like IMAX screenings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think that's going to hurt it because a Superman's going to get a lot of that, and then a Fantastic Four after that. So I'm thinking this movie's only going to get like a week's worth of IMAX release. So because of that, I'm saying it's going to come in under.
Bob,
890.
We'll see it a second time.
Well, I think it's going to depend on word of mouth, but I think this franchise, at least domestically, I don't think it's got the legs that it used to have. So we'll see. But I'm going to say 890 million. I think it's going to come in just under the 900 million mark.
Is this a new trilogy?
I think it's supposed to be. This is like a soft reboot, but it takes the previous films into account.
Okay. Derek, what do you think it comes in at?
I'm kind of in between where you guys are. I think it gets close, but it's under. I think it goes 915.
Okay. So you're right on the number.
Yeah. I just am thinking about the fact that Superman's coming out right after this, and I think that makes it lose its flame real fast.
Let me see if I can get what the budget is.
Yeah. And then to Bob's point about the IMAX, theater releases,
right.
Forgot all about that too. So I am going to say it's going to come under. But then again, we could all be wrong. I don't know. But then Bob's going to take a look over and see.
Okay, the reported budget on it is 265 million.
Okay.
Then you figure about
marketing and theater costs.
Marketing about 100 million. So
you're 300 something million.
Theater cut gets half of that. So just to break even, it's probably going to need something like 550 to 600 million.
Oh, it'll take that. It'll get
to break even.
Break even, yeah.
That's going to surpass that.
So
yeah, that I think it'll do.
Yeah, because even if you go by my original number, which I said 780, it's still, it helps.
Okay, looking at the estimate that I've got here, it says it would likely need to earn around 530 million at the worldwide box office, and apparently that's accounting for distribution fees, marketing costs, and other expenses. I will say, I don't think that this one is getting marketed like some of the previous entries in the franchise. So I don't think that the marketing cost is going to be quite as big for this one as it was for previous entries in the franchise.
No, I haven't seen a lot of stuff around town, actually, now that you mention it. Now, it's early. So maybe
you get June in there, too. That's when they might start looking all that.
So I say we wait until next week and see if stuff pops up. Because do you guys get stuff, Derek, or no?
Yeah, but not to the extent that LA does. There's a couple of banners down off of 101. I think maybe like some in the East Bay. But you got to remember that a lot of our stuff is more focused around like tech stuff and like
I figured
apps and stuff like that.
Okay, so it'll be interesting. I don't know.
I think it'll get close. I think it'll get real close. I think it'll be a success money wise.
Obviously, worldwide more than here.
Yeah.
But when you make a movie in the Jurassic Park World franchise, you're wanting to make buku money. You're expecting to make good. Like they don't want this thing to make like $700 million, and they only make like a $130 million profit or something like that. They want a good amount. They want to make $1 billion. That's why they make these movies. So let's see.
We said last week Avatar made how much in terms of $1 billion, Bob?
They made over $2 billion, both of them.
It was over $2 billion. Okay,
man,
that's insane. Like
it's the number 1 and number 3 all time grossing films.
Crazy.
That's oof. That is a lot of cheddar.
And then Titanic's number 4. James Cameron has 3 out of the top 5.
That's insane.
So he's doing well.
Yeah.
And The Force Awakens was 3, right?
That was 5.
That's 5.
What was the other one?
Avengers Endgame was number 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right. Well, I think that it's going to be very interesting as the summer moves along here to see what the real business is. Not to mention the fact that this weekend, I'm sorry, this is the big weekend with Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, and I'm going to see both of those tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that.
A double feature.
Yeah.
Double feature. Good Lord.
Nice.
You get Mr. Cruz, and then I get Mr. Stitch.
You get it all. You make sure that you have a good celebration over there, Bob.
Get some cheese and crackers, some of those little cocktail weenies.
Heck yeah. Hey, I am going to be getting some of those cocktail weenies. I'm going to get myself one of those hot dogs. And it's going to be great.
No, you need two, man. If you're going to see a double
Yeah,
feature,
you have to
two
go
hot
to the
dogs.
concession stands twice.
There we go. The I'll say this. Tom Cruise, he's a movie star. One of the last real movie stars. And what I mean by a movie star is when the guy picks up the phone, studios are listening when he's talking. It's not like a lot of these other actors. They can be replaced. Tom Cruise can't. I mean, guy does his own stunts and everything. But if you watch the way he carries himself out on the red carpet or during interviews, he handles it the way like a movie star should. Like he was in Seoul, Korea recently, and they were asking about the movie and stuff. Well, one reporter got up and started asking a political question that had to do with like the tariffs and stuff like that. And he instantly said, "We'll answer questions about the movie."
Yeah.
That's the perfect answer because he understands his role as an entertainer, that I'm making a movie and I need to promote my movie.
Exactly.
You know what Tom Cruise is? You could actually say an actor's name back in the day, and that would be enough to make you go see it.
Yeah. And
he still has that cachet.
That's why I say he's a movie star.
Yeah. One of the last of his kind.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to be interested to see what the business is based off of this weekend. Because I believe that, man, if I remember correctly, wasn't the budget for this last Mission Impossible something like $400 million?
Yeah, it is. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to break even. Partly because I don't think the last one did, and this one opens the same weekend as Lilo and Stitch. Now, what might help this is I think it's going to get a longer run with some IMAX screenings than what the last one did, because the last one came out the week before Barbenheimer, and because of that, it didn't get those IMAX screenings. So maybe that'll help it do better, but I don't think it's going to get there. And part of that is because the Mission Impossible franchise has a very set fan base. You're not going to get a bunch of new people going out to see this new Mission Impossible. The people that have been seeing it are the ones that are going to go see this one.
See it again. Yeah.
So.
Although it does have this going for it. It is a 3-day weekend.
Yes.
That actually carries, I think, more water than people would like to admit. Because you can go see one movie with the kids, go to another one with on date night.
Yeah, and that I think that's going to play out real well. And then next week you got the Karate Kid, and the week after that we got Ballerina.
Oh my goodness!
Crazy.
That's going to be a lot of action just in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have to prioritize.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see
these, Eric?
Well, that's what I have to. That's what I'm going to try to do here. I have to make sure that if I do go out to the theater, I'm not going to get there as much as Bob. I'm going to admit that.
Yeah, me either.
Right now.
I'd like to see Mission Impossible. Well, we might go see Lilo and Stitch. I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
look at you. I want to go see it, but we might go see it. But we might.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that I have to pick which movies I want to go see because time is just not on my side right now.
You bunch of losers!
Since we reviewed Cobra Kai, we probably should. Y'all should probably check out Karate Kid.
Well, okay, you know what? That brings up a good point. Why don't we call it right here, right now? Let's give ourselves a good 2 to 3 movies we want to see, probably within the next couple of months here. Ballerina, I think, is on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Karate
one?
Kid. Ballerina.
Ballerina.
Oh, for God's sakes, Josh. We watched the trailer on this program.
Why am I drawing the
Look at it.
No, seriously. I'm like,
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly, think.
God.
You thought you were going to have it easy.
I told you, Josh. Give me time.
Oh, from John Wick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I remember now. Remember, I haven't seen any of the John Wicks, so
Better jump on those.
You get those. You need to jump on. They are fast watches. Yeah. They aren't even that long. I think the last one was like 97 minutes or something like that.
No, the last one is long. That's the only one that's long of the group.
You're right, not that one. It was one of the others that came before it, but they go fast. Trust me when I tell you.
This could be a meme.
No, that's not. What do you?
It's better when you do it naturally, Josh.
Crap, mega crap.
I love how Derek's just so focused. Wait, I gotta do it now.
I'm gonna break now. That's enough. I gotta settle that down.
See, Derek, now you know why I get quiet like at certain points, and I'm like,
because you gotta focus. Like Derek, you could literally see him going like.
I know. I gotta knock it
Josh,
out.
because you don't see it on this end. You don't realize how many clips are actually loaded into these things.
I do. You know why, Bob? You sent it to me last week or this week. You were showing it to me last week. It's on the right side of your computer, and it had tons of clips.
Yeah.
That's
right. I just showed you before the show. So
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, okay. So, how about Ballerina? How about Karate Kid? Which the third one? Well, we're going to see Superman. That's a given.
Superman.
Okay, let's not. That one's off the table.
Jurassic World. I mean Jurassic. Maybe.
We'll see what else is coming out in June. But for sure, I think Ballerina and Karate Kid because I don't know because I'm not going to be here next week, so we won't be able to really review Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. So I think Karate Kid, since we've been talking Cobra Kai on this show,
let's do that. Karate Kid, Ballerina. We'll figure out the third. And Superman's already, going to be on there. So
that's a given. Yeah,
that's given. All right. So, does that work for you, Yahushua?
I think so. Yeah.
No, not I think so. Commit.
You commit.
Just say yes and do what you're told. Thank you.
Stop. No. I'm going to say no.
You're going to want to go see it. If you don't want to see that, that's on you. Ballerina's
I want to see every movie. I'm going to be Bobby. Are you kidding?
Well, Ballerina's going to be great. And then in August, Nobody, too. I mean, we got some good ones coming up.
There's some really awesome stuff coming out this year.
What's the last movie I saw? Minecraft. That was the last movie I saw.
Well, okay. So now it's time to go see something grown up.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Are we good with this one, gents?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about movies. Let's get on to food, shall we?
Open the mouth, between the gums. Look out, stomach. Here it comes.
Zoinks. I love it.
How appropriate. That was absolutely exquisite. Well done on that one, Bob. All right, folks, we're going to play a little game here that I actually found online, and then I suggested it to the gents here, and they were fine doing it. So we're going to talk about 3 sandwiches. You got 3 sandwiches for the rest of your days. That's it. You can only have these 3. Now, it's not that you're allowed to maybe, switch them up a little bit if you want to put like ketchup instead of mustard on it, okay, fine. But we're just talking about the actual sandwiches themselves. Okay? Here we go.
All right.
So you got 3 of them. Bob, give us your number 1.
Is this ranked or just in any particular order?
Any particular order is fine.
I'm going to go number 1, a meatball sub.
I wouldn't have expected it, but I could see that from you.
A meatball sub, some nice big meatballs, marinara sauce, some American cheese on that, or either provolone. And you got your sub bread. That's a delicious sub right there. So a meatball sub would be my not necessarily my first choice, but that's the first one I'm giving.
A meatball sub should be messy.
That's right.
You shouldn't sit there and like think that you're gonna be able to just take that down with like nothing on your shirt. Like if you're gonna eat that, you need to wear a shirt that can immediately go on the wash afterwards.
That's right.
Don't try to be clean with a sandwich like that. That's an excellent choice, though.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, to you, sir.
A cheeseburger is my number 1.
It's not a sandwich.
You're kidding me.
No, that's not a sandwich.
Bob, I hate you. I hate you Because
What?
you told me earlier, Bob described a sandwich as a piece of meat between two pieces of bread. Okay, you tell me why that's not a sandwich.
Stop whining.
You stop whining.
What did I tell you though afterwards, Josh? I said if it falls on a menu on a sandwich, you're probably fine. If it does, and then you even said, but a burger doesn't fall on the menu.
You want me to switch it? Fine. This is so ridiculous. Okay, how about this one? You gonna take this one away from me, Derek? Pastrami with deli mustard and sweet mustard.
That's a sandwich. That's fine.
That okay, Mr. Sandwich Patrol?
Yes, it is fine.
It's
deemed acceptable.
Now I gotta.
Sitting there scribbling notes.
Okay, I've got something else. You won't agree with this one either, but whatever.
What? What is it?
No, that's my number one. Is not pastrami with deli.
Okay. Salami with grapefruit. Is there another choice?
God, no.
All right.
You watch, he's going to give a hot dog next.
I know. No, we sat and talked
are...
about that before Bob came on. He asked, Josh asked me, is that a sandwich? I said, no, absolutely not.
But Bob is a liar. He turned his back on me. He's Benedict Arnold.
I told you that if it falls on a menu, I said I would probably consider it a sandwich, but I said if it falls on a menu under sandwiches, you're probably fine. If it doesn't,
Derek, why is it not a sandwich, in your opinion? I want to know, why is this not a sandwich?
Because that's actually, it just doesn't fall into the category. Burgers are burgers.
And you even said, Josh, you even told me, but it falls under burgers on a menu.
Shut up.
You even said that.
You're no help. Good God.
But you said it.
God, I was. If I'm going into battle, I want you to be there by my side. Now you'd probably be like, "Kill him first! Kill him first!"
Well, you say things like that, I am going to put you out there.
Good God. Hey, Derek, what's yours?
All right, mine are going to be in a particular order here because I believe there's a sandwich for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's what my three are.
Jesus.
And the first is a breakfast sandwich. We're going to go eggs, ham, cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar, toast a croissant, throw it on that. And that's a breakfast sandwich. And make sure the ham is right, too. If you can get some of that Canadian bacon, that's even better. I think they sell it at the stores over here, but it's basically kind of like square ham. It almost looks like, circle ham, excuse me. It almost looks like bologna. It's not. But if you can get that right underneath the eggs with the cheddar on top, lightly toast that croissant, and you are good to go.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
I know, right?
Not bacon, though? You don't do bacon?
You can do bacon, too. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying, like, you can switch some, like, little things up here, if, it's your sandwich. But
Right.
I prefer ham most of the times, but
Okay.
I'm certainly not, I mean, us as the Jewish ones on this podcast should be against bacon, but we are not.
And ham.
What?
You mentioned ham. Of course we're
I
against
know.
it, too.
That left my rules a long time ago.
Yeah, mine too.
If I'm getting up there, if the master himself is like, Derek, that bacon was just unacceptable, then okay, fine. I guess I'm heading the other way. That's how it's going to work for me.
Right.
So that is my breakfast sandwich. Let us continue. Josh, you hit us with your not sandwich again.
Thank you. Well, the one that I just wrote down instead of the burger, grilled cheese.
That's not a sandwich.
Grilled cheese. Yeah, I love a good grilled cheese sandwich, but it's got to be done with lots of butter. Where it's got like that crispiness and that kind of like oily, buttery on good like white bread or sourdough bread. I could be any type of cheese, but I really like American or cheddar.
That's fair.
I know a lot of people love, speaking of, bacon, put bacon or tomato in there. I'm a purist.
Well, that's where I was going. I mean, do you enjoy the tomato on there?
No, I like it just the cheese and the bread.
Okay, that's fair.
And make sure you put the butter, even if you could maybe sprinkle a little cheese on top, it kind of gets into the bread a little bit. So good.
Now, there's this that people do sometimes too. do you put like a little thing of mayonnaise for the inside of the sandwich?
No, but I have seen that. I have not tried that. Have you?
No, I think that's ludicrous. I don't think mayonnaise has no place in my life, really.
Now, sometimes I don't mind having tomato soup with that.
Yeah, there you go. That's the winter meal.
You know, to dunk it. But most of the time, and it's funny because sometimes Lisa and she'll make a soup, like a split pea or something, and then do grilled cheese. And I always go right for the sandwich first. And I'm like, shoot, I should eat the soup and save, but I just love a grilled cheese so much. And I'll do it with any time. I mean, we've done it with Munster cheese, pepper jack, American, cheddar, but my favorite, I would say, would be like American or cheddar.
Okay, that's fair.
See, if I do a grilled cheese, I'm going to put some ham in it, or I'm going to put some turkey in it or something like that, and grill it up.
Then it's actually a panini, which is a fancy sandwich.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Would a patty melt constitute a sandwich, Derek?
No.
But Bob just said I would put turkey in with a grilled cheese. What's the difference? You're putting meat. You're putting ground beef inside the grilled cheese.
Yeah, but that's still a burger.
Hold on. I said turkey, and you're saying ground beef?
Well, a hamburger. What's the difference between you putting turkey in white bread?
Josh, quit trying to defend your position.
Okay. This is the dumbest idea you have ever come up with on this show, Derek. Dumbest idea.
This is the highlight of my month. Oh, Josh, just relax. You'll be fine.
No, I won't be fine.
Shut up!
God, you're annoying me.
I told you.
Josh, you said it was better when Derek does it. It's just better when he does it.
Isn't it funny? Who's ever controlling it is the heel, and whoever's not is the babyface. Bobby turned babyface this week.
Yeah, you're gonna like him coming back.
Oh God!
Yeah, because you see, I do it for comedic moments. Derek's gonna do it to piss you off.
You know what? I want to learn this for next week.
You're not doing anything.
No, you're not.
You'll have no insight to this. Thank you.
Shut up.
Right.
No.
Bob, you're second, please.
All right. Well, I actually, I'm just going to throw real quick an honorable mention, real quick, Derek, just simply because you said your sandwich was a breakfast sandwich, a croissant-wich, like from Burger King or from Jack in the Box. That's going to be an honorable mention, with some sausage, egg, cheese on a croissant. Beautiful. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's a good breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 2 goes to Derek. You just mentioned a moment ago. I'm going to go with a BLT.
Oh, that's good.
The American classic.
That's right. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. I know you don't like them. You're not a big fan of the mayo, but put a little bit of mayo on that. That thing is delicious. So,
interesting thing about BLTs with me, I'm not like a big fan of like just straight up tomato either. Mm-hmm. But on a BLT, lay it on me. All three of those together
is so good.
Yeah.
Yes, I love BLTs.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a BLT, especially when the bacon is nice and crispy.
Yes. And what kind of bread, Bob?
I mean, it could vary, but yeah, I mean, white bread is fine.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it, but you could do it with wheat or some others, but I would do just straight up white.
Might I suggest the boudin sourdough bread that we have up here? That is divine for a BLT.
That'd be good too. Yeah, the sourdough would be great.
Yeah. Now the ratio of the B to the L to the T, are we thinking they should all have equal layers?
No, you need extra bacon.
You need
extra bacon on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You got to pay that extra 99 cents or $1.99 to get that extra bacon on it.
And you need iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
Not butter lettuce, not romaine. You need iceberg. Now, what about avocado? I don't do avocado.
You could do it, but I'm going to quote, I'm a purist. so I can turn around and just do the regular BLT. But no, Josh, actually with the avocado, that'd be good. I think that would actually go real well with it. But I'll probably just stick with the regular BLT.
Got it.
All right.
All right, Derek, let's hear it. What's lunch now?
Yeah, we're at lunch. They used to have a sandwich down the street at a place called Key Market. That has now switched to Chavez Market, so you can't get that sandwich anymore. Although you can get a great hot burrito there that's just divine. But that is not a sandwich. So let's talk about the sandwich that I used to get. This is going to be crucial. You need hand-carved turkey, not the deli meat turkey. Hand-carved turkey like you're getting it off of the Thanksgiving turkey.
Did you and I eat at this place?
No, we did not.
You didn't bring it into your place?
No. That was ice. No, that's different. No, we're talking hand-carved turkey. We've got like the slaw on top of that. Get a little cheese on there. Make sure you get some sharp cheddar. They made this killer Russian dressing. You throw that on Dutch crunch. You can add bacon and avocado if you want to. You can even toast it if you want to. There's something about a hand-carved turkey sandwich that makes all the difference in the world. When you have Thanksgiving and you get the leftovers afterwards, you're making yourself a hand-carved turkey sandwich. Don't lie to yourself. Do yourself right.
I'll make a turkey sandwich, but what I prefer to do with the extra turkey is a homemade pot pie with that turkey.
Ooh,
well, that is also fair.
But that's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich, but a pot pie.
No, I'm saying I prefer that to making the turkey sandwich, but I will do a turkey sandwich.
So what's on? It's the carved turkey.
Mm-hmm. You can have, and then you do like the slaw on top of that, like a coleslaw slaw, like lettuce, whatever it may be. The lettuce, cabbage, all that.
Yeah.
You get the cheddar on that,
and
then you actually get what's called a Russian dressing, and I can't remember. So you get that, you put it on Dutch Crunch. I don't know if they have that out there, but Dutch Crunch out here is delicious. It's like our specialty out here.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I can't explain it. I'll text it to you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's like regular bread, but they do something to the top of it where it makes it extra crunchy.
Do they griddle it, or they?
I don't know what they do, but it's great. It's delicious.
Good.
Yeah,
sounds good.
And you get the big one, so then that way you can save the other half of the sandwich for lunch the next day.
Now, can I just ask both you gentlemen something? Do you guys like Thanksgiving time a turkey sandwich with stuffing on the bread and cranberry sauce and gravy in a sandwich, or that's not your thing?
I was fine until the cranberry got thrown in there.
Okay, because I don't do any of that. I like it plain, on the side.
You're a purist.
Yeah,
he's a purist.
That's I'm a purist.
Bob gave up on that a while ago. He was making the pot pie. It's still in the oven.
That's right.
Yeah, he cares about
Here's where you get in trouble with pot pies, though. You're going to want to go to sleep after that. And I mean stay asleep for 10 hours after that.
I feel that way after the turkey by itself. So.
Fair. Okay. Shall we move on to the final choice?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, Josh, you start us off this time.
All right. My last one, it's something so simple, but I've always loved it. A tuna sandwich.
Like a tuna melt?
It could be a tuna melt, or it could be a regular tuna sandwich. And actually, my newest thing that I do with the tuna is a Matthew McConaughey tuna, where it's like everything but the kitchen sink. And it's crazy. Yeah. And that one is like, it's got mayo. It's got a little vinegar. It's got gherkin pickles. It's got red onions. It's got jalapeno chips. It's got corn, frozen
that
corn.
That sounds like way too much.
It's actually really good. But then I like simple. I like tuna with celery. So I've always been a tuna fan, more than an egg salad fan. So I think a tuna on a good bread, to me, is awesome. Put some cheese on it. You could do it as a melt, like you said, Derek. I've always been just a big tuna fan. I think I got it from my dad, who also loved tuna fish.
Wait, Go through that recipe one more time from Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey? Okay. So you can make fun of it? Okay, good.
I just want to hear this again.
Okay, so you got the tuna, mayo, lemon juice, a little vinegar, red onion. I'm trying to think, what else did I say? Oh, frozen peas and corn. Jalapeno chips for crunch, a little wasabi for a little spice, a little agave. It's excellent. Oh, and apples. Green apples, chop them up, and gherkin pickles, mix it all up.
I've burped up stuff better than this.
Okay, you wanted that. You just wasted my time. God.
That sounds repulsive.
I'm telling you, it's good. Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay, Josh, you threw everything on that thing except like ketchup.
I got it from Matthew McConaughey. He was on
teriyaki
TikTok.
sauce. You want to throw that on there?
You know what, Derek? You're insulting Matthew McConaughey.
No, I wasn't insulting Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
He's a
don't
fine
insult
actor.
The sandwich.
Yeah,
It's very good. It's actually really good.
I have a problem with his taste and in the art of sandwich making. That's the problem.
You have no say so in this, Derek. You lied to me for a year about being a vegetarian. Okay, so I am done with it. Okay, you're this.
Why would you even believed that?
That's what made it so good. He kept believing it, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this rolling.
First of all, nobody would know, Bob. Nobody in their right mind would know if he's a vegan.
You know your friend. You would have known.
Are you kidding? I've known him longer than you.
No, that's what I mean. You would have known.
This is a guy who says he's going to the gym, being consistent for a week. Then he stops, and then he's like, no, I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to do yoga. So no, he could have been on a thing where I want to be healthy and I don't want to. And then I pick him up, and he's like, oh, I can't go to a place that has. I got to make sure they have vegetarian. I'm running it through my head. I gotta say, it's brilliant.
I know.
It's
That's why I did it.
And then I left and they ordered pizza. And our friend, I'm like, so what kind of pizza did Derek order? Sausage? I'm like, what do you mean?
Bob, easily my best work. Like, hands down.
Oh, I don't think anything can top that.
Easily.
I don't know. When I after that fantasy weekend when you called to brag and I was like, I can't talk now. We had a loss this weekend.
That was good too.
That
was so worried.
I mean, Derek's like, I went to Whole Foods and I had eggless tofu salad.
Tofu eggless salad. Yeah.
Tofu eggless salad. Oh, God. Did your parents know you did this and your sister?
No, my sister I eventually told. It was like a few months later. And she goes, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, he absolutely bought it. And she laughed pretty hard. Then she's like, how the hell did you even pull that off? And
well, you were in San Fran. Of course you would have pulled it off.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing.
See, if I had been there, I would have gone along with it too. I'd have been like, hey, Josh, make sure we take him to a place where he can get something vegan.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then all the guys ratted him out for the pizza. They're like, oh, he ate a ton of pizza.
Well, that was Joel who did that, but that's a different discussion.
Joel and Teddy ratted you out.
That's fine. I mean, it was at some point it was going to come out.
Do you remember when I called you? Oh, I was so bad. Or
no, it was the best.
No, you were there.
Oh, yes, I was there.
I was so mad.
The best. The absolute best. I loved it so much.
Oh, God. All right. You guys go ahead and go.
Okay, Bob, go for it. The last one.
Real quick, Josh, what was your first sandwich choice again?
My first one was the pastrami.
Okay. So after your boring choices of pastrami, grilled cheese, and tuna, I'm going to spice this thing up again.
What,
I had a meatball sub, and then I opened it with some spice and a man sandwich, and I'm going to close it with a man sandwich, and that is a Philly cheesesteak.
Of course.
How could you not put that on your list? A Philly's cheesesteak. You got the hoagie bread. You got the cheese steak or the steak on there, put the cheese on there, and you could add some variation to it. You could do the sauteed mushrooms and peppers or the onions, put those on there as well. You don't have to, but you can. You could even do some variations of that. Like just for Derek, you could have a vegan cheesesteak. You could have a chicken cheesesteak. There's different things that you can do, but that is a man sandwich. That is a dad's sandwich, and that's what I'm closing with.
That's
Philly cheesesteak.
That's the signature right there. Done, signed, sealed, delivered.
That's right.
There was a place just down the road in Foster City where you could get some of the best cheesesteaks, and when you know it, they closed. And it really made me mad. Because now the two restaurants that I really, really loved around here, they're both gone. Windy City Barbecue was another excellent establishment. I miss you guys. Oh, dang it. Good choice, Bob.
That's right.
All right. I almost went there. I almost went to that. But I switched it up a little bit, and I think I'm actually, because this is actually a restaurant that I was just mentioning in Windy City that made a fantastic, and I mean a fantastic, barbecue brisket sandwich.
Oh, see, but that's a man sandwich. That's what I'm talking about.
God, it was so good. It was so good. And the roll that they put on it was just soft enough when you toasted it. They found a way to do that perfectly. And the sauce that they just sat this brisket in, I have dreams about that sandwich. Seriously, it's one of those. It's so good. That's for dinner is what that's for.
There you go. That's a good choice.
Yeah. So, Josh, take it from us. Look at our menus. You'll like our sandwiches better.
I'm tired of doing these rankings because all you guys do is bust my chops.
No, we don't usually bust your chops.
Sandwich. I'm going to stand by my
normally bust your chops.
The only time we busted your chops on the rankings is when you put My Best Friend's Wedding ahead of The Princess Bride.
I love all these sandwiches that I picked. And you know what? I stand by it.
Okay. Well, that's your own fault.
Okay, I almost said something. All right.
I'm telling you, Josh, you're going to want the barbecue brisket sandwich. That's what you're going to want. Or the cheesesteak while you're at it. Yeah.
I love that stuff. I love cheesesteaks. But they have to be done really well.
Well, do you think Bob would wanted a crappy cheesesteak?
Oh, he takes crappy cheesesteaks. Of course he does.
But a crappy cheesesteak is better than a tuna sandwich any day.
I love tuna. What'd you do for your middle one? BLT. Really?
Yeah, bacon.
That's the American classic.
Derek, shut up.
Have a breakfast sandwich if you must. You like that one?
You want? Fine. I'm going to redo my whole list right now.
No, don't redo it.
No.
I'm standing by my list. And it took like a minute later. I'm going to redo my list.
I did nothing wrong tonight. I did the homework. You guys are bullies.
I'm not bullying you. I just... I will say I was surprised at your choices, Josh. I will say that.
Good thought.
All right, enough.
Never thought I'd miss Bob.
Wait, 58 minutes in, okay? That was the first time I did that.
So unprofessional.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
No, I will say I was surprised, but of your three, Josh, the one that would probably be like in my top 10 for sure would definitely be grilled cheese. That's a classic.
Okay.
I actually forgot about grilled cheese until I started making them for my kids, so I got reintroduced to them. I make a pretty good grilled cheese. I can throw down on that. Yeah. If you dip mine in ketchup, it's even better.
If what?
If you dip mine in ketchup, it's even better.
Oh, I like that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty dang good that way.
Yeah, I like it that way too.
Okay. Very good.
Did you ever see the movie Chef with Jon Favreau?
Yes, he made that amazing grilled cheese to me.
Yes,
at the beginning of it.
That's where I totally got. Did you see that movie, Bob?
I've seen it.
Yeah, that was so good.
He makes some
I want a barbecue. I want a griddle, where you can do like the teppanyaki and that stuff, and you can do a grilled cheese. Oh, that would be epic.
That's what you found your second calling in terms of being a chef, Josh. The only thing you'll make is grilled cheese. You're going to make a restaurant
and tuna.
And tuna.
You know what? Forget the tuna. Thanks, Bob. Fine. Philly cheesesteak. That's my new number 2. Okay? I'm redoing this, but it's got to be good. It's got to have the cheese whiz on it, It's got to have the onions.
Whoa.
Cheese whiz.
Back up.
That's a Philly
No.
thing. Remember, I lived in Philly.
I know it's a Philly thing, but it's still better with actual
Cheese.
actual cheese on it.
Well, both provolone and cheese whiz.
You don't need both. That's too much.
You know what? I give up on you guys. We're done with rankings. Not ranking anything else.
Well, we technically didn't rank it, but yes, Josh, you're right. They do use cheese whiz in Philly.
Yeah.
It is pretty common. But yeah, that's why the rest of the country took the Philly cheesesteak idea and improved on it and got rid of the cheese whiz.
You can keep that. You can mind your business over there in Philly with that. All the Eagles fans there. All right. With that, are you guys ready to move on? I know, Josh.
Oh, yes. This will be a lovely rest of the time. With this.
Well, hey, come on, man. We don't talk about food all that often.
Yes.
That's true. We don't.
So it's about time we got to that topic.
No, it's good.
The last time we talked about it, I think I was with Bob. We were talking about Thanksgiving food, which was the bomb.
That's right.
But here we are. It's May. Come on.
No, it's fun.
And with Memorial Day coming up, you'll have plenty of burger, Josh, so don't worry.
Which is not a sandwich.
Which is not a sandwich.
It is not.
Thank you for finally understanding.
He just lied to me. He's a liar.
No, Josh, I would
Not a
consider it a sandwich, but I also did preface that with you and said, if it's on a menu and it doesn't fall under sandwich, then don't pick it.
Oh, I would have had a good burger too with cheese and bacon and grilled onions.
Divine. Still not a sandwich.
And it just, it's so good. Crispy fries that you eat together with the, now
you don't eat them separately.
Now I'm getting mad. I forgot about this now.
No, okay. Look, if you want to top 3 burgers, that's a different discussion.
No,
and that is a discussion we should have.
That's a discussion we should have.
Josh will have his tuna burger
first. What'd you say?
Josh will have his tuna burger.
Tuna burger.
They actually have stuff like that.
I know they do.
So
I know.
How do you? Okay, you know what? No, I'm not interested in that.
Sushi tuna, like raw tuna, is what it is, Eric.
Well, I know they do that. They have like certain sandwiches, like ahi sandwiches over on the island.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's a seared ahi sandwich I miss greatly over there. It's super good.
Where?
On the islands. But a place called Leota's, delicious. Get there, have it.
Yes.
You're
do that.
You're making Bob mad. Stop.
Good. I want to make him mad.
Sounds like a circus freak.
Yeah. You're making this difficult, Josh.
Go ahead. Let's get to our final topic.
Okay. Here we go to a topic that we can all appreciate. Hopefully you folks will as well. Well done. That was good.
He's like Dave there at the end.
It's yours.
You know, it's just hitting me that I forgot to mention that we actually timestamp our show, folks. I should have done that at the beginning.
Thanks. An hour later.
I know. But
that reminds me, Derek. I'll have to show you how to timestamp the stuff when you do upload it.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So we do that, folks. But if you've been with us this long, what do you even care about that now? But the reason I wanted to say that, in addition to the fact that comments are going to be very helpful here, because we would love to hear from you about who you would dreamcast for what we're about to do when it comes to, I believe it's a show we're going to be doing about Batman. And that's what we're going to be casting here today. We've got Batman itself. We've got Alfred's. We've got, I think you guys did Commissioner Gordon, and yours, I think I missed them out of mine. I can probably think of it. And then 3 villains. So
and Robin.
And Robin.
And Derek didn't do Robin either.
Yeah, but I think I got one now. I think I got that figured out.
Okay.
So, how should we do this? Should we list them all out in one shot, or you just want to go around and talk about each of the?
Like what we could do is who's going to be your Batman, who's going to be your Robin, who are your 3 villains, who's your Alfred, who's your Commissioner Gordon. Just you break it whatever you want, but we can list all the villains together and just kind of
But
list
are we
each
listing
individual
everything
one.
together though, and then we'll go back and talk about what we think on certain things?
We'll start with the Batmans, and then we'll go through the other characters.
And that's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
we'll
All three of us will do our Batman.
Yeah.
All three of us will do our Robin. We'll do
Yeah.
whichever one you want to start with, Derek.
All right. Well, why don't we start with the heavyweight? Let's go with Batman first, because that is what the show is about, after all. So why don't we start off with Bob for this one? Who is your Batman, sir? This is a very selective man we're talking to here, so this has got to. This has got to.
All right. So this one's gonna make Josh happy. I'm gonna go with Jensen Ackles. And no, but here's why. Josh has always wanted to cast him for an origin story. He's too old for an origin story.
No, he's not. He looks young.
The show that we're making, this is a Batman who's been Batman for a while because he has a Robin. He has, he's got a full rogues gallery. He's got all of this. So Jensen Ackles, I think, is he looks the part, and I think he could pull it off. He's even voiced Batman before. So let's go ahead and let's give him a shot at the Dark Knight. Now, I mean, there could be a few others that I could see throwing in there, maybe like an Alan Richardson or somebody like that. But you know what? I like Jensen Ackles, and I'm going to say he's my experienced Batman here.
A lot of people like him. A lot of people think he's the guy. Josh, does that include you? You think he's the guy?
Yeah, that's who I've got. Jensen Ackles. I think he's got the look. I think he loves the character. I think he would look good in the suit. And I think he can be, if you've watched Supernatural, he can be intimidating. And I've always thought about him, being Batman. And yes, I have said a young Batman, a middle-aged Batman. I'm good with it all. I really haven't thought of Bob and I have talked about this, Derek, over the years about various ones who could play Batman, but I'm drawing a blank, Bob. Who else because we've talked about Jensen Ackles for so long. Look, I did like Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was the closest to Batman, the animated series Batman that we got. I know you don't agree, Derek, but
as far as his look as Bruce Wayne, he was probably the most accurate to Batman the animated series. The suit itself, I like the fact that we got a gray suit for Batman as well.
That is true.
So there was a lot that was done right with the Ben Affleck version. I mean, we could debate it when we got into some of the later movies, but in Batman v Superman, especially during that warehouse scene, that was great. So I'll give Ben Affleck that. I really liked him. Real quick, Josh, you talked about Jensen Ackles being intimidating.
Yeah.
Watch him in The Boys.
Okay.
I mean, that's in season 3, so 3 years from now.
Yeah. Well, what's with the insult, Bob? Why can't you?
That's not an insult. That's a fact. The facts don't care about your opinions or your feelings.
How do you know I haven't watched the whole thing already and just never told you?
Gosh, I told you. You get you to watch a 5-minute clip that I send you, much less watch an entire season of something.
Good Lord. Okay, Derek, who's your Batman? I'm curious about this because I have no idea.
I'm just thinking about the fact that I think we told you to watch Daredevil on Netflix, and it's been over a year.
It's not been over a year. Well, maybe it has.
Yes, it has been. We told you about it since the beginning of the show.
What is this? Pick on Josh night tonight? Is this?
No, I just saying.
Good Lord.
That was a fact. All right. I'll get on with it. Man, I got a fair amount of this flavor, which I'll get into later on when we go through our options. But I'm going to go a little more with an interesting choice. I'm going to go with Michael Fassbender as Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. That is interesting.
Yeah. I think he could do it. Now I get Jensen. I do. Here's where I get a little lost with Jensen, because I think Jensen would kind of be like Val Kilmer with Batman. I think he would play a great Bruce Wayne. I think he would be perfect with that. The suit is where I don't see it. Michael Fassbender, I see in the suit, and Bruce Wayne.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard Have I heard Fassbender? I've heard him. I just can't remember which characters they've.
You know Michael Fassbender. You saw Glorious Bastards.
No. I'm talking about in Magneto and all that. No.
Yeah.
For years they've wanted to cast him in a Batman movie, I think, but I don't think
is that right?
Maybe, but not playing Batman. I can't think of who they thought about him playing.
He would have to play an older Batman, that's for sure.
Well, yes, and that's fine. That's kind of where I was going with it, because if we're gonna go, years into Batman anyway, let's just go all the way with it. And then my thought on my show is that we can do flashbacks, not going into an origin story, but like show clips of like a young Bruce Wayne with an Alfred where he learns an important lesson growing up, like something like that. I think that could be kind of fun. So then you see him as the older version, and he's, and Alfred raised him. So that would be a good way to tell that story throughout the years. So that's who my Batman is. I think he could pull it off. But yes, he is older, that's for sure. But he's got the chops. I think he could do it.
That's interesting. It's interesting. Right. I'll give you that.
All right.
Fair enough. I'll take interesting. So, you guys want to do Robin next?
Yeah.
All right, let's do Robin. Who do you got, Josh?
I mean, I looked this up on AI. I was like, who would play Robin? I actually like Tanner Buchanan, Robbie from Cobra Kai.
Uh-oh, you just picked
Why? Did you pick him? Did you pick him?
Go ahead.
And I think he could play Dick Grayson.
Okay, so you would go with Dick Grayson. That would be your Robin.
Why? You'd go Jason Todd?
Why have you said that I'm going to go Jason Todd?
I don't know. It just seems
like you've been saying since yesterday. Oh, he's going to pick Jason Todd.
I give up. And why is Derek your favorite?
Because remember, he signed in using my...
I signed in that way.
No, but I think he's got the look. And look, we all know I'm not a big Robin fan. I guess because for me, the very first, movie I saw in the theaters for Batman, there was no Robin. And even though I grew up watching the campy TV show, it kind of changed my whole perspective on it. And I felt like, I don't have to see Robin.
I thought you were a purist.
But I don't for Batman I just don't. Maybe
no,
Robin
because
later on.
There's a reason why he keeps getting a Robin after Robin ages out. He keeps getting a new Robin.
About it, the TV show, we haven't seen it. Even in the they could have had Robin in the Batman, but they didn't.
I think that's a very real possibility that we could. And actually, in Batman v Superman, there was a Robin.
That's true. There was.
There was Jason Todd, but he was dead. So
but I think Robin is actually a pretty important story just in the character of Batman himself, too.
It is because
he balances out Batman.
Exactly. That's the balancing of the equation. And it's the fact that Batman gets to help a soul that went through the same thing he did.
Look, I think I could see Tanner as Robin, but I would build it up to that storyline. Like you went for me in my show, you would not be seeing Robin right away. You'd be really focused on Batman. And then once he's really well established and in his prime, maybe then I would bring Robin in.
Okay.
So what Josh is saying, he wants another origin story. That's what he wants.
No, I do not necessarily want a full-on origin story, but
then if we're talking about Batman into it, he's got to have a Robin.
No, but like you've even said, if you would do a detective story with Batman at first, and then
no, that's not what I've said.
Well, that's what I would do. Is I would build up. I would do similar to a Batman origin story because I want to build up the show and build him up with all the rogue gallery, and then once you get into like the third or fourth movie, then you could introduce Robin.
Okay, let me ask you something, Josh, just real quick, because you mentioned how we used to watch the old 60s campy show.
Yeah.
At no point did we ever get an origin story for anybody.
That's true.
We had a full-on Batman with a full rogues gallery, and nobody complained.
I'll tell you what changed for me. Batman Begins when I saw what they did, and then Batman the Animated Series, what was it, Mask of the Phantasm, when they went back to the origin story a little bit, and also with Gotham. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm not saying like early on, like when his parents are killed. I kind of want to see him training to be Batman and head back to Gotham.
Okay, but in Batman Mask of the Phantasm, we see a flashback of that. He's already Batman because it picks up from the animated series where he's already Batman. He's a full-on Batman with a full-on rogues gallery. He's got a Robin already. I mean, Robin makes his appearance in like the second episode.
No, I get it. So maybe for me, it would be to do a flashback.
Yeah,
of
right.
him. Really, Jared? Really?
It was sitting right there. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Anyway, I love how my opinions are like totally.
No, I like your choice for Robin.
The choice
and I need to comment on that because that was my choice, Tanner Buchanan. However, the one issue that I've got with him is that he might be too short because I actually would prefer Dick Grayson as well. If I didn't go with Dick Grayson, my second choice would be to have him as Nightwing and then go with a Damian Wayne because I've always loved the dynamic between Damian Wayne and Dick Grayson. They actually are closer than what Damian Wayne is to Bruce, and that's his own son. He's actually closer with Dick Grayson, and a lot of that goes back to the time where in the comic, Dick Grayson had to become Batman for a while, and he was Batman for like a year run in the comics, maybe a little longer, and Damian Wayne was his Robin. So they so I would like to see that. But the other choice that I had, if he could bulk up, he would need to bulk up a little bit. Timothy Chalamet, I think that he could pull that off.
I actually thought about him. That's funny.
But here's what I would do. I would actually have the story start with Robin older, and that's why you could do Timothy Chalamet. And and during that first season is where you've got the friction between him and Bruce Wayne. And by the end of the season, they go their separate ways, leading into a second season where he's now a Nightwing.
Okay.
That's what I would do. It would be like, to me, that's where I think would add a lot of intrigue to the story, is that you've got that relationship that's strained between this father and adoptive son. So
that's a good way to do it. That's good for the conflict.
And while they're trying to solve a crime and catch a villain, and yet they've got this problem within their partnership.
Two pieces of conflict. Excellent. That's a good show.
Yeah.
All right. So that it's a good choice. I mean,
you would have to bulk up though.
Yeah, both are actually they're good.
Did you see Dune Part 2, Derek?
Okay, so I started it and then I started falling asleep, so I have to go back and finish it. But I do need to watch both those movies because I've heard nothing but good things.
The only reason I say that is because if you watch him in Dune Part 2, that could probably lead you to say, "Oh yeah, he could probably pull this role off."
Hold on, why is it that Derek says he falls asleep, and you are like okay with that? I say I fall asleep, and you say,
but you fall asleep every movie and every TV show. That's different.
Are you in my bedroom? Are you there? What?
No, you've admitted that.
Yeah, you've admitted it.
Not everyone.
Josh, yes. Okay. 96%.
What exception?
What are you, Bobby's lawyer?
It's like 90% of them, and then you pick the one or two show. Well, it's not everyone. Okay, 90% of them. Even the stuff you're interested in, you fall asleep on.
No, I try to stay awake.
When I start,
okay, no, I try to stay awake.
I'm asleep right now.
No, here's the thing: is that when I start falling asleep, I turn it off because I know I'm going to miss everything.
Well, I do too. I turn it off,
and I want to be able to pick up where I left off.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's where you have. That's where I set my game plan. And usually, if I want to stay up because I know we have to watch something, this is what I used to do with Daredevil all the time. I would wait. Usually, lights are off in our house by about 9:30, and that's when I have my time.
Right.
That's it, and I stay up because I know I have to. So that's when you get this stuff out. It keeps you awake.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
Black cherry Coke. All right. My Robin, shall we? Okay. I picked a Taron, but it's Taron Egerton.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Taron Egerton. Okay.
So I tried to think about it just from like a visual perspective, right? Like Michael Fassbender and Taron Egerton together, I think is a good combination as a Batman and a Robin. I think
real quick, Derek. I'm sorry, Josh. Are you looking him up?
No, I was actually looking something else up, but I'm about to.
No, the reason why I asked is just because the way he said it, because he said Taron Egerton, and you went, oh, and then I saw you turning to start typing, so I was like, did you just say, yeah? Oh, and then you're looking up to figure out who he is.
If you don't know who he is, Josh, I'll tell you. It's fine.
No, I know who he is. I'm looking at him, and it's a good pick. That's who I thought he was.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
You know, I think people you want to look to just to see who they match.
Well, so here was the thing. Because I had the Michael Fassbender as the older Batman, I almost thought about using Taron Egerton as my younger Batman. But then I'm like, for those flashback scenes. But then I'm like, Robin is better for that because he needs to be more involved. If I'm just flashing back a little bit, there's no point in putting Taron Egerton doing that. Let's have him be Robin. That's a good visual between those two being a team. So I think they'd work well together. Choice. Yeah, I think it's a thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Shall we move on to Commissioner Gordon? That may be a good choice for us to do. Let's see. Who went first last time? Bob, you want to go with this one?
For the longest time, and Josh knows this, I always thought that Brad Pitt would play a great Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, interesting.
And I still think that he would.
That's my pick.
However, I'm actually going to go with somebody else.
Okay, good.
Brad Pitt. I'm going to go with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That's good too.
Yeah.
So that's my choice for Commissioner Gordon. I think that he would be great in that role.
Yeah.
I still think an older Brad Pitt, let him grow a mustache out. I think that, especially now that he's older, would have the look of a Commissioner Gordon. Put him like in a trench coat, I think he would look like it. But the more I've seen of Bryan Cranston, I kind of think that he would be a better choice.
Bryan Cranston would nail that role. He'd be so good at it. Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good one. All right. And yours is Brad Pitt, Josh?
Yeah, well, what happened was for years, Bobby and I would talk about, you and I too, Derek, about doing a Batman. And see, I liked Ben McKenzie from Gotham. But Bob's like, yeah, that's the TV show. He's like, you know who would be good? And I'm like, no. And he's like, Brad Pitt. And I looked him up. He's like, look him up and see if you can get him with, a stash. And I was like, oh my God, that is really, really good. And
Brad Pitt's perfect for the role. He's good for the role now.
Yes.
Yeah. Now's the time if you're going to do it.
Yes. I definitely think it would either be him or I still would like to see Ben McKenzie. But obviously my overwhelming favorite would be Brad Pitt. Because, yes, I agree with the trench coat. And I think he would do a great Jim Gordon. Now, I liked, what's his name from, Dark Knight, Gary Oldman. I thought he was a great Jim Gordon.
He's been my favorite Gordon so far.
Yeah, I think he's, not to say that Jeffrey Wright was bad. He did a very good job. But
he was good.
Gary Oldman just,
And J.K. Simmons just, to me, didn't seem to fit. I don't know why.
I think he would have been fine. The problem is we didn't get to see enough of him.
Yeah,
so it's hard to make that judgment.
I was going to say, you got maybe like what felt like
2 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a lot.
10 minutes.
But I thought what you did see of him, I thought he nailed it.
I think so. Yeah, it was so quick because it's the scene where they're showing him the picture of the bat and he's like 20 years in Gotham and now you're saying he's a criminal?
And then you know what he had to say about that, don't you?
What?
Crap, mega crap.
I love how his eyes go right to Cliff.
I know, it was right there.
Oh my God.
I like J.K. Simmons, the choice for Commissioner Gordon, but yeah, it was brief. Felt brief.
Yeah, but I definitely could see Brad Pitt as a Commissioner Gordon. And then, with Batman, and yeah, I think it would be cool. Who do you think, Eric?
I'm going to throw a real curveball at you guys.
God.
I think Commissioner Gordon should be Tom Selleck.
Wow.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
But like Tom Selleck now? Who's
yes, absolutely right
now.
Yeah, it's got to be now. He has the perfect look for him.
God, that's funny. Wow.
The trench coat, it's it. He nails it. The hat, the glasses.
Pretty good.
Come on. This is it. This is exactly the role that Tom Selleck should be playing right now. It's perfect. And it'd be great to see him again. Come on, let's have some fun.
That'd be awesome.
Magnum PI.
That's cool. Very cool. All right.
All right. So now I think we're on to Alfred. This got hard. This got tricky.
This was hard. This is difficult for me.
Okay.
I've got mine.
All right. Josh, you go ahead.
So I'll say this. I've got written down Colin Firth. I really liked my original one, and it wasn't. I'm just trying to get his name. I always thought about Hector Elizondo. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. I thought about maybe kind of like similar to Batman the Animated Series.
He passed away though?
Yeah, he did.
He's like no, he's not. He's 88.
I think he passed away, dude.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Nope, he's alive. He's 88.
Okay, yeah.
He's
still with us.
I'm just thinking. Now, the other one that I really liked also was from Gotham, Sean Pertwee, who I thought was very good as Alfred.
I remember, yes. Mm-hmm.
I always liked him too, but then I was like, again, I've got something else planned. So I don't know. Colin Firth might be good. You know, he's been in a lot of movies, and I think that could be a good dynamic.
Let me ask, though.
Yeah.
Would age be a factor with that?
That's what I'm trying to figure. It just depends on. Well, Colin Firth's what, 64?
Oh God, I have no idea. He still looks young, though. That's the thing.
I think he's in his 60s. Sean Pertwee, who I really thought did a great job, he is 60, and so
Colin Firth is 64.
Okay. Yeah, so either one of them are my picks to play Alfred.
Okay.
I see more of Sean Pertwee than I do of Colin Firth, but both I think would be okay.
Okay. Right,
and also you kind of have to decide, do you want an Alfred who, you know, is the trusted butler, but also helps Batman out? Or do you want him like, what's his name played in the Batman, where it was more kind of, it was different, right?
The Andy Serkis?
Yeah. Alfred? Which, you know, he did okay, but he's not my favorite Alfred.
No.
I would say my favorite Alfred is Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine's great.
I think
Andy Serkis didn't do bad, but
no,
it's a difficult role to play as Alfred.
It is.
And, I don't know.
There's
roles. There's roles, right?
Yeah, Jeremy Irons was interesting. He's definitely not my favorite, but
he was good off of the Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah, I think he did okay. It was a different type of Alfred.
It was a different take. It was a different take altogether.
Like I remember in the Snyder Cut, you know, Wonder Woman is bringing tea, and he's like, "No, I'll handle that," and you're doing that wrong. So he had some of that in, but then there was other stuff where he was like doing all the work for Batman.
No, yeah,
all the
it depends on, you know, depending on which landscape of Batman you're talking about. He does do both,
right? And even the look, like what he wore, was very different than what we've seen.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, even in the first four films, you know, that began with Tim Burton and then went on to Schumacher, they mentioned that Alfred was a mechanic.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Remember the scene where where Batman's trying to convince Dick Grayson to stick around, and he shows him all the old cars and old bikes. And he mentions, he's like, Alfred's a very good mechanic, but some of these need a lot of work.
Yes, I do remember that now. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I don't know who played him in the show Pennyworth. If he was, I never watched that show. Did you guys?
No.
No, I have no idea if that guy was any good. So
I felt like that was like watching AEW. Just didn't.
Well, it was a really great, thing. AEW is the best, so I get it.
You and all 700 of you.
I actually heard it was okay. I just
wrestling fan, WWE sympathizer.
Red ass.
You know what? You started it.
Red ass. No,
yeah,
Bob
I started it. So
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Mm.
Can Bob take the next 2 weeks off? That'll be great. Thanks.
Oh, you're gonna love him back. Trust me. All right, Bob, take it away. Hit us with your Alfred.
This is going to be a kind of out of left field, but I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Jude Law to play Alfred.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that he could pull off the role. I do think you'd need to use a little makeup and stuff to age him up just a little bit. But, I mean, he's already in his early 50s. So I think you just age him up a little bit, make it look like he's pushing 60. And I think he would be fine in the role. I kind of like Alfred for this. Or Jude Law for Alfred. I think that he would work.
What kind of Alfred are you looking at? Are you looking at a gritty Alfred? Or are you looking at a butler,
Well, I think he would be a little gritty, but I do think that he could pull off let's have some tea and crumpets, And the reason I say that is, he played Dumbledore where he had to be a wizard who could go out and fight, but at the same time, he was real proper and whatnot.
Right.
Jude Law, I think that he could work in that role.
Yeah. Like as a father figure, Jude Law would be really good for that.
Yeah, I think he could kind of pull off all of that. So
yeah,
he's my kind of wild card pick there, and I think he can do that role.
That's fun. That's a good choice.
Nice.
All right. I thought about one guy, but I think I did this earlier today. I think I'm rolling with my other option just because I think it would work very, very well. My choice is Ben Kingsley.
That is probably close to the best of what we've said tonight. Probably comic book.
I'll do one better here when we get to the villains.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Probably comic book accurate though.
I'll do better. I promise you.
Okay.
The original Alfred I had was actually going to be Anthony Hopkins, but I'm like, he's too old.
That's funny.
Bruce is going to have to take care of him.
I'll say something later. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ben Kingsley still got some stride to him, and I think he could play the role very, very well. He's got all the acting chops. We all know this. So, yeah, I think that's my setup there. That's the crew.
Okay. Very cool.
All right.
All right. What are we on?
All right. Are we doing villains now? Are we going to talk about what we really want to talk about?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Bob, name us your three.
All right. So let me first tell you who my three villains are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, my two side villains that are going to make appearances, but not necessarily be the villain of the big bad of the show. Hugo Strange.
Okay.
Victor Zsasz and Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
Those are going to be my three villains. Now, to play those three villains, and this is where I'm going to top you, Derek, Hugo Strange is going to be played by Ben Kingsley.
That's funny.
Well done.
Funny.
Well done.
I think he would be perfect as Hugo Strange. You have him there at Arkham kind of overseeing stuff, running his experiments and stuff under the table. But I think that he could be kind of like a side villain there. Victor Zsasz, I really wanted to go with James McAvoy.
You love him.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
That's good. That's really good.
I'm going to go with Bill Skarsgård.
Interesting.
Especially when you look at the way he looked in the Crow reboot.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of see he could kind of have that look if you put all the new the number marks on him and stuff like that. But he plays these character roles very well. Like It or Pennywise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played Nosferatu and whatnot. So he could pull off this character here. And for Mr. Freeze, I'm going to go. There are two choices that I've got. One I'm leaning towards, but I wanted to say my other one. my main choice would be Mark Strong as Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
I think that he would be
That's
fantastic.
absolutely accurate. Yes.
Mark Strong.
If I couldn't go with Mark Strong, Giancarlo Esposito.
I thought about him.
Yeah.
As Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Strong is perfect.
But I think Mark Strong is a better choice. But if I couldn't get him, Giancarlo Esposito would be my second choice.
That's interesting.
And Mark Strong's voice would be perfect for that too.
That's why I think that he would be the best choice. It's the voice.
He doesn't have.
He's got the look.
Yeah.
He's got the look that I would want, and his voice I think is perfect. So
okay, yeah,
that's my choice, and those are my 3 villains.
That's very good stuff. Very well played. All right, Josh.
My 3 villains are Joker. Obviously, you got to have Joker. Bane.
Bob didn't.
I know, but for me, Bane and Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I totally agree, Bobby. That's a great pick on Mr. Freeze. I'll start with them. I have another pick for Mr. Freeze. How about Matt Smith from House of Dragon?
It's not bad.
It's something different. And then I started thinking of Derek's idea of Freeze, of the butcher and where you are. And I think he could be interesting because I was thinking of Giancarlo Esposito, but I'm like, I started looking stuff up. I'm like, oh, Matt Smith, they had like said he could play someone else. I'm like, what about Mr. Freeze? Something that hasn't been done. He could be, different. He's definitely
pull off Alfred.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think he could definitely he has that psycho aspect to his personality, maybe. I don't know. It could be interesting. And then for Bane, what I want to see a true Nightfall series. Like where, first of all, I want a smart Bane like we got in the comics. I want to see him gradually letting villains out of Arkham and exhausting Batman, and he finally breaks the bat, not like what we saw in Dark Knight Rises. And I think Alan Richardson could play a great Bane. I would say between him or Dave Bautista. But I think Richardson is bigger now than Bautista. If they could do it.
He wouldn't be a comic accurate Bane, though. He's got the size. But remember, Bane isn't he from South America?
I mean, maybe he can do I don't know who you would use. Can Bautista do the voice? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Unless you look for an actor who's from South America. Who could,
South Africa.
I mean, no, he's South American.
Oh, is it? I thought he was South African. Oh, never mind.
Let me look it up.
From South America. And then
in the animated series, he sounded Russian.
Am I right, Bob?
Hold on. Bane is from a fictional country, Santa Prisca, which is a Spanish-speaking country. So my guess is it would be South America.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a fictional South American country.
Okay. And then, but like for me, I'd want whoever's playing Bane with the mask, not the pain mask, the luchador mask. And then my Joker is obviously for me, it's a combination of 2 guys. The one I really want to see because I didn't think Gotham did him justice was Cameron Monaghan. They didn't say he was the Joker. I thought he had such a great laugh and the look was there. And I thought he could really pull it off. So it's like, I didn't get that because they didn't refer to him as the Joker. The guy I used to always think years ago, and I don't even think, Bob, you even know this, that I've always thought about him playing the Joker, Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
I always thought maybe he could get away with it. I don't know. The look to me, I wasn't sure.
The look, yes. I'm wondering.
Like a look similar, obviously with the hair when it was short in Charlie's Angels, kind of that thing, maybe.
I get it.
And so, but I just wasn't sure if he could do it or not. And then when I saw Cameron Monaghan do it in Gotham, I was like, oh my God, that's the Joker.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I just want to say one thing. The other one, there's actually 2 things, 2 honorary ones that I wanted to mention. And I've told Bobby this before. I always thought if Two-Face was in it, Oscar Isaac could play him. I think that could be interesting. And then to jump off your thing about Anthony Hopkins, Derek, how about if he played the ventriloquist?
It could work.
So yeah.
Anthony Hopkins is hard to get into that world. I'm sorry
It is, but I just thought the ventriloquist, because obviously the dummy's the villain. So
I get it. Yeah, I get that.
And then who was he? Oh, and I also thought like Mad Hatter. You could have oh my god, I just completely lost his who I was thinking. The one from Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is the Mad Hatter?
Yeah, I think he's crazy enough to do it.
I thought he would have played a better Riddler.
See, I thought Leonardo DiCaprio. I still wanted
that was Leo DiCaprio was always my pick for.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to see play the Riddler. So, all right, that's my stuff.
All right, that's pretty good. It's did some good choices. Okay, my 3 are as follows. I couldn't do the Joker. We need some time. We need some time away from the Joker. He needs to, you need to. He just gets that some space. So I'm going to leave him out of this, but I am going to do Clayface. I'm going to do Poison Ivy, and I'm going to do Two-Face.
Okay.
So Clayface, the idea of Clayface is that he is supposed to be this actor, right? Maybe even that, like a British type of actor. I'm going to say that there's going to be CGI, but the voice to play Clayface should be Idris Elba.
Wow. I kind of like that.
Okay, that could work.
Yeah. I want this Clayface to be like gray clay, dark clay, like real nasty clay, like earth clay, that kind of stuff. And just like, here's the thing about like British actors and their accents. I mean, they do sound very proper, obviously, but there's a way you can make it sound gritty and dirty, and that's what Idris Elba is really good at.
Yeah.
And like, it would just be perfect. Like him. Do you know I was supposed to be something big? Like, I could just totally see him doing it. It would be great. All right. Second, for Poison Ivy, Christina Hendricks, step on down, because you got the role. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her.
I was thinking Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Christina Hendricks. Hold on.
What did she play in? Played in Mad Men.
Yes, she was in what's that movie? It was called A Fist Fight. She was in Bad Santa.
Oh yeah, she was in Fist Fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You win, Derek. You win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to play Poison Ivy.
That's Poison Ivy.
Yep, that will work.
Poison Ivy.
She has enough of like the really like pale skin, but the red hair that works. That plays.
That definitely works.
Yep. Throw some green context.
That's very good.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, my last choice is Two-Face. I'm going to go out on a stretch here, but there's a reason why I'm doing it, and I think that should be John Hamm.
That's who I would have said for Two-Face too.
Good. That's good. I have no issue with that.
It has to be Harvey Dent first. You have to remember that. It has to be Harvey Dent first. That's John Hamm. John Hamm is Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we've seen him play enough of like a stoic, like very like straight, narrow guy in Mad Men, where once he turns into the monster, he can just go back to that same look. I think he'd nail it.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah.
I actually probably like it better than my Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac isn't bad. He's a good actor, and I get why you would go with that choice.
I like John Hamm better than your Oscar Isaac too. So
you know what, bite me. It's funny though, because with Two-Face, would you do it like I've always said? If I did a Batman, going back to the beginning, could you have Two-Face as the main villain for that, or with Carmine Falcone, or do you really have to build up the friendship between Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent?
I'm seriously going back to the beginning right now.
Why'd you mention Carmine Falcone?
Because he would have been one of my guys if I was going back to the beginning.
What kind of stupid name is that?
Technically, he needs to. It's Maroney who actually is the one who scars him.
No. I know that. Yeah, it is in the courthouse.
I just forgot that Mark Strong has entered the Batman world. He was in the Penguin. He was him. Yes.
None of us mentioned Penguin because we all know that.
Well, we know who that's supposed to be now. That's done. That role is cast. Thank you very much. Excellent work, Colin. All right. I think we have some very interesting choices for a new show. Folks, do comment. We'd love to hear from you too. But do rest assured that we'll be talking to our lawyers in the morning and making sure that this is copyrighted by them. So,
by the way, I love the Arkham Asylum Batsuit and Batmobile for the show.
Well, the Batmobile has to be on the show, right?
Right, but I love the suit. The suit was gray with black, but it's just I always like that one most of all.
That version of Arkham of the Penguin is haunting. That's the one you should roll with for future shows. All right. Well, have we run the gauntlet, Jets? Are we ready to call it for this evening?
Let's do it.
We have. Right. Bobo, have a good trip.
Social media first. Bob, go ahead. Hit us.
You can catch me on my YouTube channel, Bob Loves Movies. Be reviewing Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch within the next couple of days. Nice. So hopefully, hope to have both out by Friday. If not, I'll have one for sure out tomorrow, or one for sure out Friday, and then the other one on Saturday. But hopefully, have them both out by Friday. Awesome. And then you can catch me on Critic List and on X.
Excellent, Josh. To you, sir.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Very good. Me, still old. LinkedIn and Facebook. That hasn't changed. All right. With that, we'll call it for this evening. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.